Hey guys, so I wanted to give you my experience of having to get a colonoscopy and having to do the colonoscopy prep, right? So I got my colonoscopy done today, and it was my first time ever. And I feel like, I mean, I didn't research it, but I feel like I didn't know no one else that really had done a colonoscopy to know how to do the colonoscopy prep, right? So we're gonna go through what I had to do, what was the directions from the doctor, right? So what they tell you to do is take 4 Ducalax tabs, like, which is laxatives. And I'm gonna tell you my story, like, anyways, okay. So we'll get into that. But 4 Ducalax tablets, and then they're gonna tell you to mix a whole bottle, 238 grams of powder Miralax into 64 ounces of Gatorade, right? So I am not like a Gatorade drinker, so I went ahead and bought Gatorades this size, right? And so this right here is a 28 ounce Gatorade, and I used 2 of these, and then I used the 20 ounce Gatorade to help me round out my concoction of Miralax. So what I did is I drank a little bit of the Gatorade to this point so I can fill in the Miralax into here. And I did the same thing for 2 of these, right? Because you can't, these are like filled to the brim, so you can't just put Miralax in there, right? So I had to have some empty space in there. And I made that the morning that I took the Ducalax, right? Which is, you're doing this stuff the day before you go to your colonoscopy, this is the directions my doctor told me, right? So you take your 4 tablets of Ducalax, and I took mine around 11:30, right? And then I waited 30 minutes, and I started drinking my first 20 ounce of Gatorade, my little concoction of Gatorade and Miralax. Now these are new bottles, so there's nothing in here but Gatorade, but they tell you on the directions to drink 8 ounces every 30 minutes, right? And so I figured half of this is about 10, right? So I drunk to like this point to make it 8 for my first 30 minutes, and then I would drink I think the rest after 30 minutes, right? So once you start get going, you start feeling, for me, I felt nauseous. I felt my stomach trying to do cartwheels and backflips, right? Like in your gut area, and I felt like this is not working out. So then I kept drinking water, and then like in between the times that I was not drinking the Gatorade, and then I started on my second bottle of Gatorade, and I drank to about here for it to be 8 ounces. And I'm just guesstimating too, right? And then I started feeling nauseous, like even more nauseous, right? But I was able to go a little bit like Dookie balls, like the number 2, with the when I got to this point, right? But after that, for me at least, after that, it was nothing but liquid coming out of your booty hole. And then I drank this point, and then I drank to this point, right? By the time I got through these 2 bottles, I was so nauseous that I ran to the bathroom. I was like, look, I don't want to throw this up, but I had no choice. Like, I had my hand over my mouth like this, and the vomit came projectile out. Like, I had to like flip the lid up from the toilet, okay? It was insane, and I probably threw up about 2 minutes straight. Like, everything that I drank over the last couple hours came out my mouth. And by this time, you're not supposed to eat nothing. You're not supposed to eat nothing the whole day before your colonoscopy. So, like, I'm gonna tell you the truth. I had a banana. Okay, maybe that's what effed it up. But I was hungry by the time I finished these 2 bottles, right? So I said to myself, because it's, to me, like, the taste, like they say you can't taste Miralax. Yes, you can, because you pouring a whole bunch of Miralax into these bottles, and the consistency of the drink is really, really thick. So that's what you can taste, right? And it's disgusting. I mean, it's stomachable, but you don't want to drink it. And I think that's what did it to me, to where my body was like, And what I will tell you is, when I finished drinking that second bottle, like, I felt very full from my chest up, which is weird. So I started thinking, well, it's not going into my bowels, it's not going into my small and my large intestine, so something has to be wrong. So I'm not saying you do this, but I was scared because, like I said, I didn't really know many people that had gone through this before, or knew what to do, right? So I decided to do the saltwater flush. Because in the past I did that, and all the dookie came out of my butthole, right? Just completely clear. And since I had experience years, like 10 years ago, I knew that I needed to get the dookie or whatever out of my colon, because I wanted to do this colonoscopy, right? So I mixed pink Himalayan salt that was grounded up like that, right? That's weird, but grounded up like that, and then I put it in like maybe like a 12-ounce cup of warm water, and I drank it, and it's just a very, very salty taste. And I was like, well, this is gonna make me go. It did not. Okay, so I'm feeling good, because now I'm no longer full up here because I threw it all up, but I'm also feeling like, okay, I am not dookying. Only thing that's coming out is liquid out of my butt, right? And I'm like, this can't be right. This can't be right. So I said, and I waited maybe like an hour and a half for anything to come out, because I know when I did the saltwater flush before, within 45 minutes of pounding down water after I drank the concoction of the salt water, I had to go. And I did not have to go at all. So I said, I'm gonna have to drink some milk and magnesia, because that's a go for me. Like, that makes me go. So on my fridge, I had a bottle of milk and magnesia, right? And I had about 3/4 of it left full, right? And I said, I'm gonna have to down this, because I need this colonoscopy tomorrow. So I went and I sat by the toilet just in case I was gonna throw up, and I downed the milk and magnesia, and then I had like a big bottle of green tea, and I would just drink that milk and magnesia, drink that milk and magnesia, right? So by this time I'm feeling kind of full, right? Still no dookie's coming out. Still only liquid is coming out, right? And so I'm getting nervous, and I'm like, something's got to be wrong. What if I have like a whole bunch of dookie backed up in my colon? What if they can't get the camera up there? So I leave like a voice memo on my sister's phone. She's in nursing school. She's 2 semesters away from graduating. I'm like, look, you about to be a nurse. I need you to help me out. Give me a call back. So she sends me her colonoscopy notes from her nursing school class, time when she was learning about all the oscopies, right? And she's like, everything that you told me on this voice note is everything they tell us to do for a colonoscopy. So I would not worry. And she's like, have you drank water? I said, I've drank 3 liters of water today, outside of the Gatorade, outside of the salt water, outside of the green tea. Like, what is going on with my body, right? She's like, I wouldn't worry about it. She's like, what color is coming out? I said, right now it's 100% clear. And she's like, that's good, that's good. Just keep drinking water, keep drinking your stuff, you'll be fine. I said, bet, right? So by this time, and the whole, like I said, they don't want you to eat nothing. They only want you to do your prep, which is your Miralax or whatever concoction they tell you to take the dookie, or the squirt dookie out the whole day. You're not supposed to eat nothing, right? So by this time, I'm not even hungry, because my stomach is so full of liquid, right? And I'm not even thirsty, obviously. So I go to bed, and I wake up. I'm just like kind of nervous. I'm like, because I still have a whole one bottle left in the refrigerator of the Miralax Gatorade mashup, right? And I'm thinking, should I drink that? Even though all that's coming out is clear liquid now. And so I get on Reddit, and I see this whole thread of people saying they puked, they vomited off of their prep, and now what's coming out of their butts is clear too. And they actually asked the question, should I drink the rest of my prep? And everybody is like, yes, drink it. You want to drink it. You don't want to risk going to your doctor and you not being fully flushed out. And everybody was saying that they just it wasn't pure thick dookie, it was just liquid coming out. So when I read that, all those people, they were in the same boat as me. I said, these people are not lying. They know what they're doing, right? And then I read reviews of people who after they completed their colonoscopy, like what they ate and stuff like that. And so I said, I'm gonna do this. So it was 10 o'clock at night. And so at midnight, you're supposed to completely stop any liquid, and just like no more liquid basically, right? So I drank this with a straw because also they said if you were puking, what can help you stomach it is drinking it through a straw. And that was the magic touch because I did not throw up at all, right? And so I drank that from 10 to about 11:30 to get through like the 8 ounces every 30 minutes basically, right? And then I went to bed. Now here's the thing. This is what I want to tell you. When you go to bed, you are asleep, obviously, right? But you don't know what's going on with your body, especially if you've been up all day drinking liquid trying to go. I will say put some pads down on your bed because your butt is gonna leak. It's because it's not solid. It's just liquid coming out. Even if you're not even trying to go to the bathroom, your butt is gonna leak. So put something down when you're laying down. And you're still gonna wake up in the middle of the night too to go to the bathroom too, but your butt is gonna leak. No one tells you this. I didn't know, right? So then I wake up around 7, and you're not supposed to have no water, no food either the morning of your colonoscopy, right? My colonoscopy was scheduled for 12. And so I was thirsty. I was kind of like weak and walking slow. So what I would do is I would take sips of water like this. And spit it out. I just swallowed it, but I would spit it out in the sink so I can keep my mouth wet. Because I know I didn't want to drink a whole cup of water, but I also did not want to be super dehydrated, even though you end up being dehydrated because you're going to the bathroom, right? I make it to my place. I didn't get seen for like an hour and a half because I got there at 11:30. Seen for an hour and a half, and the procedure was quick, 30 minutes, right? So the longest part really, well, one of the long parts is you coming out of anesthesia because they put you to sleep, right? So for me, I had to get a colonoscopy and an endoscopy going down my throat. So I had 2. So anyways, they put you to sleep. You gotta wake up. I've only had anesthesia once in my life with wisdom teeth, but this time I came up talking about like I wanted to get a BBL. It's time for me to get a BBL. If I can make it through colonoscopy, I can make it through a BBL. My nurses were laughing at me. It was ridiculous. But anyways, I just want to let you know, don't be afraid of the colonoscopy. My doctor told me I did good. He came back with the results. Like I had crazy results, but he told me I did good. They took some biopsies, and I was clear. I was clear enough for them to be able to actually do the procedure because I was worried. I was like, I'm not actually having solid dookie balls come out. It's just nothing but liquid. But that is the way it's supposed to go. So if I were you, I would not do what I did. Don't take milk and magnesia. Don't take salt water flush. If everything's coming out of you is just liquid, that's what's supposed to happen. I did not know that. I was thinking dookie balls was going to come out of me. It didn't happen that way, right? So don't be scared if you see that. And then finish your whole prep. And if you start feeling nauseous, try not to throw it up. Try to think positive thoughts. And also use a straw if you got to stomach it. It helped me. I didn't throw up after I used a straw because it doesn't taste that good, right? And there's people who use prep where it's not Miralax and it's not Gatorade, it's something else like milky. So I'm just grateful that it wasn't that and that I made it through. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you on the flip side.